Hey, Doug, we're just finishing up. I was asking James a little bit about our past and our friendships, so the listeners knew a little bit more. A lot of my military friends don't know him, never met him. So when I visit them and talk about James, they're just, I don't know who that is. So we just finished up with 5 questions, and now we're ready to kick it off into the sports segment.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
Look at that. You got a video and everything.
Yeah, dude. Legit. Dude, he's got sports stuff in the back. He's all about the sports segment.
Unbelievable.
James, do we want to own the incorrect quiz or incorrect stats?
Sure. Yeah, you want to take that, or you want me to?
Could you refresh the listeners on?
Yeah, so in episode 2, we had a snafu with our quiz about who was the first quarterback to be, or the rookie quarterback to go to the Super Bowl. And we talked about it off air before we had done it, and I had double checked. And the problem was we relied on AI for it. And
well, it's like you double checked with 2 different AIs, Google AI and Chat GPT, and it's like, well, okay. So
yeah, so when you go to Google something, right, the first answer sometimes is that like the AI that comes up, and both times it said Ben Roethlisberger was, and I was like, I don't think that's right, but hey, he says it's right, so we went with it. And then Jake even double checked my work and came up with the same issues that
because I briefly looked it up just to see if I could find it, and I Space Cadet and just forgot to get the answer. But one of my buddies who's super into sports called it out immediately, and I was like, dang it. And then so we're gonna do our best not to look like douches and not know what we're talking about, and sometimes we're wrong, and if we're wrong, we're gonna call ourselves out. So to rectify it, me and James were like, all right, we'll just talk about it real quick, and then we'll move on to the results of the game. So I went on after we figured out we were wrong on that segment, and I asked Chat GPT, have any NFL quarterbacks played in the Super Bowl as a rookie? And response from Chat, one first name basis. So I'm going to drop the and it said, yes, there have been 2 quarterbacks that played in the Super Bowl as rookies, Ben Roethlisberger in 2005 and Joe Flacco in 2013. And I was like, immediately like, nope, that's wrong. So I was just like, let me try it again, or let me look up the Super Bowls. And it's like, Roethlisberger wasn't in the Super Bowl until 2006, right? Against Seattle. Mm-hmm. So that was wrong for Roethlisberger. And then Flacco was a rookie in like 2008, didn't go to Super Bowl 2013. So I already knew. So I was like, let me ask it a different way. And I was like, hey, Chat, what NFL quarterbacks have played in the Super Bowl their rookie year? Just one more time. And then it gave me 3 results on this next one. I was like, oh my God, Chat, you're killing me here. Ben Roethlisberger in 2004. Russell Wilson was added for 2012, and then Joe Flacco for 2008. And I was like, I'm not going to count on Chat GPT when it comes to NFL stats or facts. So I was like, maybe, all right, I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to escalate right now. So I tell Chat, are you mental? ? Ben Roethlisberger was a rookie in 2004 and didn't go to the Super Bowl until 2006. You don't know what? You didn't know that? How can I trust you? And then Chat replies back, you're absolutely right. And I apologize for that mistake. Ben Roethlisberger was indeed a rookie in 2004, but didn't go to the Super Bowl 2006. And then I also said, I said, you're wrong again. Also, Joe Flacco was a rookie in 2008 and, said 2013. Where are you getting your information from? And then last response, and I was just done with Chat after that. You're absolutely right again, and I sincerely apologize for the confusion. I made another mistake. Joe Flacco was a rookie in 2008, and Baltimore Ravens didn't go to 2003. That was another error on my part. And I really appreciate your patience in pointing this out. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. This is freaking me out. So I was just kind of I was like, all right, last time I'm going to do one more prompt and change it up just a tiny bit and see what happens. And says, so you can keep saying responses, and it'll like, as long as you stay in that chat stream, it'll like fix the conversation. So last question was, which NFL quarterbacks have played in the Super Bowl their rookie season? All right. And so Chat last response was, I appreciate your patience and I want to set things straight once and for all. To clarify, no NFL quarterback has ever played in the Super Bowl during their rookie season. While several rookie quarterbacks have had impressive seasons, none have reached the Super Bowl in the same year they were drafted and began their NFL careers. And then it tries to go on to talk about Ben Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson again. And it's just, I was like, all right, I'm done. We're not using that anymore. So that was that. So we own that. We're going to go ahead and use a non-AI resource for verifying stats, probably ESPN or something like that.
Well, Yeah.
Have you tried DeepSeek? I feel like that's where everyone's moving.
Is that
I
on
don't
the
know.
dark web? What is that?
Yeah, no. DeepSeek is the Chinese version that everyone is saying is like the new thing that you should not put on your phone.
Yeah. It's like the Temu of AI or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
I used Temu.
I know you do. Seen it on you.
All right,
It's
so
fantastic.
Doug, we had try to make a little summary and go by like bullet points so we can stay on track and kind of keep the recording time not too long. So James has that. I'm gonna let him run with it.
Well, we guessed our lines late, early, but then released them late last week. What happened, guys? What happened?
Well,
Tragedy.
I mean, yeah, it was a tragedy. I think, starting with Washington. I mean, it's hard to predict 4 turnovers. That's tough. A lot of the stuff that we had talked about, like Saquon Barkley running all over Washington. That's exactly what happened. He's incredible. And I still think it would have been a very different game if it wasn't for 4 turnovers. I mean, that's huge. And so, would I like to be right every time? Sure. Do I think it's more funny if I'm wrong? Of course.
Yeah.
So I don't mind being wrong, but I still kind of think I was right.
Well, we were wrong on that. None of us. We all took Washington with points, right? But I will give Jake a shout out on taking the way over. You did say the way over on that. I will give you credit.
Thank you. Well, credit was due.
Yeah, it was almost 80 points. So yeah, that was a good call.
Did the Eagles beat the over on their own? They might have, right? Wasn't it like 54 or something like
I think it was like 48.
that? Oh, was it? Yeah.
I don't remember, but that's why I pay you the big bucks. You got to remember details like that.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking. I'm looking at the rushing. I mean, you have your backup running back had for Philly was Will Shipley. He had 77 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
that's a good day for a backup.
That's after like the starter went off so berserk that they were up, so many points. So they're like, we'll throw in all of our second team guys, and still was filthy.
Dude, I hope it's a very similar game where Eagle just can score on demand against the Chiefs and just smoke the Chiefs by 3 touchdowns. That's what I'm hoping.
Hey, you're getting ahead of yourself here, man.
Okay, I know.
We still got to talk about the Bills and KC. So I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the first half of that game, and then I had to go coach and watch my daughter's basketball game. So I didn't see the whole second half. So I was seeing all these texts come in from different groups, and I was like, I have no idea what anybody's talking about. It was a close game. I think we all thought it was going to be a field goal game or close to that. So we got that right.
Yeah, because by 2 and then 1 by 3. So Doug would have won his bet, right?
No, I had Buffalo +2, so I would have lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you. By one point. No, I lost. I was 0-2. Pretty.
You know what? There's always next season. There's always next season, Doug. I feel like we're just getting a warm up run. We just got a couple reps, but I think next season we're gonna get smooth.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's only one direction to go, and that's maybe ever get a win. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a close game. We all kind of thought that it would be. I think for me, like the 12th man wearing stripes, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but it does seem like the Chiefs get so many calls. It's unbelievable. Like every close call is unbelievable. Twitter is going crazy with that 4th down that Josh Allen ran that, I mean, really should have been a first down. Like that is a game changer. And so among other calls as well. But look, at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is very good. The Chiefs are very good. James, go ahead. I want to hear what.
Oh no, I was going to say. Well, I was going to ask you the question. So did they? Because I didn't watch it live. I obviously saw it later. Did they stop and measure? Like, was there a challenge? Could they? I didn't see what happened.
I think it was automatic video review, and they had showed 3 angles on the TV, and there was one that was you could kind of see it, but then a defensive lineman just stepped right in front of the perfect view, and so it's questionable. It absolutely is questionable. There's only one. There was that one view that you could argue, and it got blocked last second by a defender. So,
but wasn't there like a play before that was questionable too? Like, was it 2 plays in a row or something? They didn't place the
I don't-
ball right or something like that? Or
I don't
somebody was in the
remember
neutral
specifics.
zone and they didn't call it, or
Yeah, there were some people on Twitter that was saying that the third down prior to that fourth down was also spotted incorrectly. I didn't pay much attention to that because I was watching the game live and I was just
Yeah.
needing Josh Allen to pick up that first down. But there was another call where Xavier Worthy had caught the ball. It was nearly intercepted, and then the ball had touched the ground. I don't know. That to me, that one wasn't as egregious because I didn't think the ball moved, which seems to be like the standard for whether it was a catch or not. I would have loved for that call to get overturned, but at the end of the day, like I think that was more of a 50-50 call.
But doesn't like anytime the ball hit the ground, it seems like they reverse it. Like even if it's just like a subtle move, like it seems like any other game that would have been a no catch, right? Seems like to me, at least.
Look, I'm with you. I think if it was Buffalo who had caught the ball and it touched the ground, yeah, I think it's overturned.
Which is kind of funny to me, and I think you're right. Like I'm not like a conspiracy guy. I don't even hate the Chiefs that much, like a lot of people do. Like whatever. I think it's good to sort of have a dominant team in sports, and I think it's kind of good to dislike them too. But they do tend to get those like calls that just make their drives last when the other team seems to have like stopped them, and it seems to always be right there. Like, and it's a little fishy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think you're right. I think well, and that's, I mean, look, it's all, it's all over everywhere, whether it's Twitter or whatever. I mean, this is not new. The fact that people are thinking Kansas City gets calls. That's why there's hilarious memes of, different things that James, you even sent me this week that are hilarious.
Right.
But yeah, look, and then like you can't look. There's a lot of things that could have gone differently. Obviously, I think if Kincaid catches that ball, Josh Allen throws on their final drive, then everyone's talking about how amazing Josh Allen is. Which, by the way, like that was an incredible play by him. Like it looked like he was just throwing it up to nobody, and then all of a sudden it's like to Kincaid who's open, who in all, I mean, I think if you asked him, he would say he should have caught that ball, and that would have changed the game.
Mhm.
So, I hate to point at like one play as like this is the difference in the whole game, but it's tough. It's tough when it's a play that
broken play
that the officials change. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for bearing with me, guys. I am not feeling great.
I know. I heard.
You look great.
Thanks, man. I'm actually off sick today. I'm like 90% sure it was food poisoning yesterday. I got super violently sick. I think it was the McDonald's biscuit and gravy at 4:30 in the morning. And as I analyze this, I don't think it was the McDonald's biscuit and gravy, which is one of my favorite things. I enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, I get it, relatively often, but I think the fact that it was like at 4:30 in the morning, what happens is that's not fresh from the day. That's like from the day before, I think. And so I think I got a bad batch of sausage gravy from McDonald's. I was violently ill yesterday. To the point where I was hallucinating. I mean, it was rough. So I did take today off. I still feel very weak. I haven't really eaten in a couple of days. So if my performance is lackluster, I want to apologize up front.
Oh,
well, you're being consistent. At least it's been lackluster the last two shows. So I appreciate your consistency.
Okay, what's so funny about that, Jake, is my wife. She's listened to all the episodes, and she's like, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, the ones that you're not on, like they're really funny. And I go, oh yeah, and she said, yeah, the one you were on was like, I mean, it was kind of boring. Like you were just like, it was just like stats and stuff.
It was kind of serious. I think we need to make more fun of our late lines, and I think we're trying to be too serious and like we're ESPN broadcasters. Which I think everyone thinks that they could maybe do it. That's really into sports, but yeah, I think every show's gonna be different with different segments. We're still figuring out, but I'd love for you to be a part of. If we do late lines, maybe just keep you on if you're our guest anyways, and like do the rest of the show. You know what I mean? Not just the sports.
You know what? You guys are the brilliant minds behind all this. I'm happy to do whatever.
That's
I
actually
know that
James.
I know that your ones and ones of listeners are probably
Double
Shots
digits.
fired. Wow.
Double digits, bro. It's like
Yeah,
12.
the only listener is your wife, oddly, and she just doesn't like
yeah,
your episode.
and she loves all the episodes that I'm not on. So,
Well, the
So it
first
sounds
one
like
we
it's
had,
working out. Sorry.
the first
go ahead.
episode we had to, we didn't have any content yet. So, and I appreciate Doug came in with like straight knowledge and facts and stats, where you and I were just like, I don't know, they look good, I guess. And Doug spewing like
Oh, I shouldn't do that.
rushing yards and points allowed. So I actually
Well,
like that. I'm very interested in that stuff. But
well,
some people aren't.
so like if I'm like when I'm talking to my buddies at work or whatever, like that's the stuff I'm like I'm normally bring it up is like I'm like a stat guy. I have like an engineer's mind. I'm always looking for, for the numbers and analyzing the numbers, which is probably why I lose a lot. It's because I don't just like is because I'm trying to be too smart about it. And I'm not going with my gut. That's what you're gonna say, Jake.
I think they
You're
call that
right.
galaxy brain.
I was muted, so did you see me say it? I've been
Yeah.
trying to mute it just so I could be quiet and not cause background noise, and then try and turn it on, but I keep forgetting, and then I'm like talking with it off.
Hey, have you guys looked at any of the? There's no way you have. I was looking at some prop bets for the Super Bowl, and there are some like some funnier ones that I think it
Really
could
good
be
ones.
fun. It could be fun for us to go over next week.
Yeah.
Before the game.
Well, we have a surprise.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you have a surprise, James?
Well, no, never mind. It's late.
No,
I was gonna say, we have a surprise. We're flying Jake out. He's gonna stay with you and Becca in Vegas, and you guys are gonna.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna
That'll
do
be
it
fun.
live. Yeah.
There's a pull-out couch
Do it
right
live.
in your suite.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, absolutely.
You can-
Maybe next year. I'm not inviting us, James, but maybe next year we could tag along and do a show over there and or talk about it the next day or something.
Doug is violently shaking his head no.
Okay, that's understandable. I know. Hey,
That's
we don't
not
want to
true.
ruin.
It's like I'm not
I don't
going to
wanna
put you
ruin your
guys
routine.
near my real friends. I'm not. My real
Whatever,
friends don't need
James.
to know what I'm doing over here.
No, I haven't got to do any really event. It was super cool when I first retired, and I was back there October of 23, and got to talk to you at the high school football game. I hadn't been to one since 18 when I was 18, so that was super cool to just catch up with you and see Becca and some of the other Parkers and just watch the game, and it was super cool. I'm glad I got to be a part of that. So I know that you couldn't stop me from being there, but I appreciate sharing that moment with me.
Yeah, you got like a little view into like what is kind of our lives, like going to high school right now anyway, going to high school sports, at least once a week is kind of our lives. My daughter's playing basketball at Clovis High, and so we're going to 2 games a week for her right now. And then my 2 college boys we don't get to watch them very much, but yeah, I mean, it's fun, dude. It's a different stage of life to get to watch your kids play sports. James is doing that as well. His kids will be dominating high school sports here real soon.
I don't know.
Well, at least James Lilly.
know.
Sorry, Everton. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him listen to this episode, I guess.
I wouldn't. Well, hey, so Doug, we're just trying to move on the sports to the Pro Bowl. I was just going to talk a little briefly about it, and I learned a few things because I haven't really watched it for past few years. I had no idea that the Pro Bowl was the actual final game. Pro Bowl was flag football now. It's been that way. I think this is going on 3rd year. Like, were you guys tracking that?
So when James asked me about it, I think this week, I said something along the lines of, I think it's a flag football game now, which is to say I have not watched it, but I thought I had seen highlights of that. So, but Jake, what do you know about it?
Only what I read, and the NFL page was actually kind of disappointing with how much details and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, they have like an app where you can download it and see, because it's Pro Bowl's in Orlando again this year. I guess they were there for like 4 years, skipped it for a couple of years, now back in Orlando. I think it's a great spot. Who doesn't want to get out of the north, most of half of the US, go south and hang out in Florida in January or February? But so yeah, anyway, the schedule for I said it. That's 1. All right. I only get 3 and then I have to leave.
Where's your water?
Oh, I got soda water. All right.
Oh.
So that one was for the folks that have been listening since the first episode. All right. And you occasionally get a tease with that phrase. But no, the Thursday night is skills showdown, and the only way you can kind of see what that schedule is like is download the app. But I went onto the app store and it's like a 2.5 rating. I was like, NFL, you have an app that's that bad? It was only like 280 ratings, but it's like you're a multi-billion-dollar organization. Like you can't come up with a cool app that people like, and it's or at least the main app.
They can't even get their first downs right.
Right. Well, no, I'm just saying you can have the NFL app and just have it as a drop down for Pro Bowl. You don't need to have a whole different app just for the Pro Bowl schedule. Like I don't know what else is on there. I didn't download it, but I think if you have things like that, people aren't going to get into it because it's just a hassle or it's just not a good app. So if the NFL is serious about promoting flag football, which I hope it continues, and Nike and all of them, it's an awesome sport. I can't wait to go until we have a full segment about flag football. James, I love it. I won't shut up about it with coaching girls flag football with my sister at Fremd High School in Illinois this last fall. It was awesome. Super stoked to talk about it. I'm actually going to bring it up a tiny bit because it's a segue for what they actually do at the Pro Bowl. But so Thursday night is the showdown, and then Sunday at 3 is the Pro Bowl. So prior to the Pro Bowl, that's when they have some of the flag football competitions. And so it's pretty popular all around the U.S. It's getting huge in a lot of states for female, for girls varsity flag football. I think that's the one sport where they never found an alternative. You have men and women's basketball, men and women's or baseball and softball. And there's always been kind of a female version, with maybe volleyball, shorter net, you know what I mean? But they still competed in the same type of sport, but just with different changes. And I think this is an awesome opportunity for a lot of good female athletes that maybe don't like soccer anymore, or maybe just don't want to do softball, and they can just go play another sport. It's in the fall for most states. I think Florida and one other state have their flag football season in the spring. Back to the Pro Bowl. So they have the international game at 1, I think, and then or 12, and then they have the high school girls football team that competes. And I guess it's like the best high school female football flag football players from all over the U.S. and they get selected and they do a game before the Pro Bowl flag football game. And the reason I think that's so cool is we have on our team, our quarterback is top notch. I've probably watched 5 different states championship games and watched the quarterbacks, and some are sophomores and juniors and a couple seniors that played really well but just got knocked out early in their states finals. And I think our quarterback at Fremd, she's going to be a senior this next year, is best in the state, maybe top 3, top 5 in the nation as far as what I've seen and her stats and her ability. We didn't start her till late in the season, like almost halfway through. She was our backup, and she's also a star soccer player, so she was missing a lot of practices in the beginning. And so we're like, well, you're not playing if you're going to just miss out on practices for another sport. So, but then there was one game where she was playing safety or corner, and she ended up intercepting it and just juked like 8 girls and got like 40 yards. And I was like, what? I was like, again, because I missed tryouts and I got there a couple weeks after season started, so I didn't really get to see what the talent was. I had to kind of learn as we go who was good at what positions. So she just I hate to keep like talking about it, but I'm super excited for her. I hope she does well. I hope she sticks with it, but she's like trying to go play soccer in college, so we'll see. But I think NFL is it's cool that they're finally doing this. I think it's a cool opportunity for females to be star athletes. I think they're fun to watch and they're fast, and I'm not surprised the NFL is taking on flag football for the Super Bowl. I mean, why are the players going to risk getting hurt for a game that doesn't matter? I just don't think there was the benefit in it. And last point I want to make, which I want to get your guys' take on it, the rivalry coaching by the Manning brothers for the flag football. I'm going to watch this year because I just think their banter and their mic'd up stuff is going to be hilarious. So, and plus I'm a flag football coach now, so I'm going to watch it, but I'd like to get back into it and watch it. I just think people lost interest. So hopefully there's more people that watch it, and hopefully we can get our quarterback on the team next year for her senior year. I think that would be super cool. I'm going to try with my sister to get her trained up as well as possible, and hopefully she gets the nod to go on ESPN at the Pro Bowl and play. We'll see. That's my fond dream for her. I don't know if she wants that. If she doesn't, then okay, it
doesn't matter
fine.
if she wants.
Right, she's gonna do what I say. No, so what are your guys' thoughts with that rivalry? How do you think it's gonna go for the male NFL flag football?
James?
James?
Well, I'm not gonna watch it, so I don't care.
Just give a quick opinion.
I don't have an opinion. I don't even watch the Manning cast. Like is
Okay,
Cooper
you know
Manning
what?
there? Because I'm a Cooper Manning guy. Like I don't even like those two.
I'm an
Okay.
Arch guy.
Archie
You're what?
Manning. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let's just delete this. Let's delete this part
Well-
and just move on.
Here's the thing. I don't remember any Pro Bowl game like highlights growing up. Was there like a Pro Bowl highlight from like when they actually did play like that would be memorable? Like I don't even know if I've watched the real Pro Bowl.
You know what's
Anybody?
memorable from back in the day? It's like the skills competition.
That's what I was gonna say. That
Yeah.
like I remember the quarterbacks.
Like that's what was fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they're keeping that for Thursday night just to
Right.
because people want to see that and they'll pay tickets to go see that. It's like 29 or $30 for a ticket. It's like, okay, that's affordable. It's Orlando. Traffic's terrible, but it's pretty easy place to fly into. And I think it's hard to keep a program or a league going, if you don't have fans that are buying tickets or coming to see them. And I think that's why some of those XFL or whatever previous USFL or whatever ones that didn't make it, I think you can only push it so much with Nike and NFL if it's either going to catch on or not. And I just think with the Olympics, it's at least going to be here for the next 2 or 3 years, and then maybe the next country is going to drop that at the Olympics. I don't know, but I hope I can be part of something with that and in the future. We'll see.
Hey Jake, I didn't realize that this like girls' high school flag football was growing the way that it is. I mean, is this something you feel like there's going to be opportunities for girls to be playing in college at some point soon, or how is this specific sport growing?
Yeah, so nationally, I think right now it's the only like bigger full conference, if you will, NAIA or whatever, that private league. I think it's only like 12 or 15 colleges throughout the Midwest and some others in the Texas and some other locations. But yeah, it's not huge yet in college. I think it's opening up. One of the Fort Worth universities, I just went on their website. They're actually starting a program in spring of 26. So and the article still said pending coach or pending choice on a coach. And I was like, really? So it's one of those things. We'll see how it goes. What's that?
I said, what does that pay? What does that position pay?
I don't care what it pays. It's honestly, it's just fun and rewarding. I volunteered for my sister this last season, and I'm retired military. I'm getting paid enough. I don't have a wife and 17 kids to worry about like some people. So I can just go up to Illinois for 2 months and hang out with my sister and her kids and coach flag football at her high school. It was super fun. I've talked about it nonstop for the last 4 months. James probably is ready for a new topic, but
I mean,
yeah,
James is loving it.
it sounds. Look at his body language. It sure showing that he's enjoying it. But
so I think what I've heard rumblings that after the Olympics, because it will be an Olympic sport, I believe here, right in LA.
Correct.
That it most likely will become a D1 sport at some point for females. So I mean that I don't remember where I probably got that from Chat GPT. So who knows how realistic that is? But
we'll double check.
Yeah, but I mean the popularity is definitely growing. It's not there in the valley yet, Douglas.
No, I mean we do a lot of 7-on-7. That's where I'm going to be on Sunday instead of watching the Pro Bowl. Is my youngest is a 7-on-7 games. Jake, I'm dying to know what you think about 7-on-7. But yeah, so I mean that I know that's not exactly the same thing, Jake, but maybe that's our form of flag football. Outside of like powder puff.
Oh no,
you guys froze on me.
You didn't froze, James. Doug froze.
Well, we miss you, Douglas. I don't know where you went.
Like
this is a long podcast, by the way. This is gonna be like an hour, and we'll cut it up to like three. You think maybe
3 hours?
No, like I'm gonna cut it down to a 3 hour.
Just want to make sure I was understanding. Like 3 segments.
Okay, listen to this. Douglas says there's a power outage, which I thought I saw like the lights go out in his house. And see you guys next week. Oh
man. Okay. But yeah, man, I like his commentating. I don't know what Becca is thinking. I think he's great. And I think he's funny. Not as funny as me or you. I feel like it goes on humor, funny level.
We're ranking.
Yeah, I would rank you, then me, then Doug, then Becca.
Wow. Well, you just made fun of our number one listener. It's not
Okay.
gonna go over well.
I don't know. Well, now we're down from 12 to 11. Hopefully we stay double digits.
All right. So we didn't get to finish that out with Doug. We'll see him next week. We'll do some late lines with him. Super Bowl prop bets, probably just some funny ones. See how we hit on those.